Week 5 is in the books, and the question everyone is asking is what is wrong with the LSU offense? This is actually the least amount of yards since the 2011 National Championship game. But the first thing I want us to look at is Garrett Nussmeier is clearly hurt. I mean, you can see it on the tape, it's obvious. Now, Kelly himself has said that Nuss was recovering from an abdominal strain before the season started. It's clear that this core injury has been very slow to heal. Let's take a look at the first drive against Ole Miss. 71 gets worked on the blind side, and you can see that Nuss takes a brutal shot, and he's very slow to get up. Now the defense gets a stop, and then take a look at the very next pass that Nuss throws after that big hit. I mean, watch his throwing motion here. He doesn't fully step into the throw. I mean, see how he pulls his body back as he's releasing? He's cutting off his motion. The throwing motion, it really depends on that core. It needs to rotate the trunk explosively. And so you're seeing him rely on his arm strength. Now, compare that to a healthier Nuss in 2024. I mean, just look at the mobility here and then look at the zip on this ball. Here you can see like the wide base and the follow through all the way on this throw to Aaron Anderson. I mean, that's the Nuss that we've all grown to know and love. So I mentioned this earlier against Louisiana Tech. I mean, you could just see that Nuss didn't have the same accuracy on his deep balls. They were fluttering, and some of the throws were just lacking velocity in general, especially when he's throwing to his left. QB coaches would tell you a very bad ab strain, it'll affect everything from stability to the transfer of power from the lower body to the arm. And when you try to limit the core engagement in your throw, it's going to throw off the timing between the lower body and the upper body, so it just completely changes the mechanics of your throw. But look at this throw right here. With a little bit wider base and a better transfer of the ball, this ball sails about 4 yards over the defender, right to Xavier Thomas for a touchdown. I mean, you saw that over and over in the Ole Miss game in the third quarter with LSU driving. Look at how much arm Nuss tries to throw this ball with. I mean, he's about 5 or 6 yards short. That would have been an automatic touchdown. So yes, I mean, it's clear that Nuss is injured, and the injury is affecting the deep ball and his overall velocity, but it's also having a major effect on his internal clock. Take a look at that long throw again. Even with no pressure there, he's doing two things. He's cutting off his motion, and look at this, he's bracing for impact. See, I mean, that's the unspoken danger of the injury. Like, his internal clock is sped up. So with obvious problems on the offensive line, he's forcing the ball out too early, and he's trying to avoid being hit. And Nuss struggled with pressure in this game. I mean, let's be honest. Last year, he had the nation's best 50.8% completion rate when he was under pressure. In this game in the first half, he was 9 of 16, but he was only 1 for 5 under pressure. And I do think it's worth mentioning that Ole Miss knew when LSU would pass for the most part. Ole Miss sat in a 6-man front about 90% of the game, but you can see here, Deshaun Womack, he's a former Tiger, he's motioning to the defense when Nuss audibles to a pass. I mean, that signals the defense in their core 6 to drop 8. Now, I will say that Nuss made some really nice adjustments throughout the game. They were a short throw away from tying this game at Ole Miss. I mean, LSU still had a chance to win this game, even with one of the worst offensive outputs. And so I understand why this game might be triggering. In some ways, the offense looked hopeless. I mean, the running game was abandoned until the fourth quarter. Schematically, there is a lot to complain about. I mean, the offensive line has got to learn to help each other on a 3-man rush. It's ridiculous. But this offense doesn't have a healthy quarterback. So much of the ceiling of this offense depends on his recovery. The bye week couldn't have come at a better time. Honestly, the offense truly hasn't scratched the surface of what we all know that they could be. But until then, remember, enjoy football season, but don't let it steal your joy.